we're doing, just warning you.
That's okay. Neither do
Well,
we.
This might be
some
a
point
little
in
bit bumpy.
On the same page.
At some point, an agenda will come up and then I'll know what I'm doing next, so.
We're doing, just warning you.
Okay, go ahead.
That's
Let's
okay.
just
Neither
stop
will we.
here.
This-
Okay. Onto there.
Here or here?
Just in there. Yep.
Okay.
Click on the screen here. Does anywhere, it doesn't matter. Okay, one more time.
There we go. Good.
Okay.
Diane, you just-
Diane, are you
Yes.
going to start the meeting? Or no, Kevin is. I think Kevin starts it.
Yeah, I'll start it. I just need to see my agenda, or
Oh.
I'll just wing it, which is not, usually a safe thing to do. There we go. Let's see, I think last month we pretty much resolved bottled water and other refreshments, right? We have the Friends and we have Dunkin' Donuts and I forgot where the fruits and vegetables are coming from.
Veggie World.
Veggie World
Yeah,
again. And they've
usually
been great.
Veggie World. There was some discussion about Avery Soda
Yeah.
and whether they wanted to do something. Maureen, Maureen, you're on mute.
No, these are mine.
You're still on mute, Noreen.
I
There you are.
will reach out to them. I just haven't had an opportunity.
Great.
Okay. Refreshment tables and cleanup crew are really something we don't worry about till the last meeting.
If I could interject.
Sure.
I have a host of emails from Anna, who's not on the call tonight. But one of the things that she sent out to sponsor folks was, did they want to help anywhere? And one of the companies is looking to be told where they might be able to help on the day of race. So we'll keep that in mind for tables and cleanup crew and stuff like that. I know we usually have the Key Club and other folks, but if it helps keep them involved and feel like more of a part of it, I guess we can do that.
And Diane, just to go back to Avery's, that wasn't, I'm not sure that really falls under refreshment. That was going to be more of a promotional type thing, I
Yeah,
think.
more
It
marketing.
was, yeah, it was.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, Diane, I think the company that Anna was talking about is American Eagle Federal Credit Union. And yeah, they volunteered to offer some staff, which is nice.
Right, but they want, staff wants to know where we need them.
Sure. Well, we'll figure
Because
that out.
I tried to give the, yeah, that would be great.
Because we get a lot of high school kids that
We've had,
do a lot.
honestly, I don't know what to do with all the high school kids we've had lately. I mean, we're kind of
Right.
jumping ahead, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to find enough work for them all to do.
Yeah.
Can I make a comment about that too? I really think we have to know how many high school students we're getting. I agree with Kevin. We had way too many at the last race and it was really hard. It's stressful because everyone's coming up looking for something to do and you don't have anything for
Oh.
them to do.
Wow.
So I think we just have to have a much better idea of where to put people and what we really need. And if we're gonna have more sponsors, then we need fewer high school volunteers.
Right, and I don't know how much you can count on one or the other. Hopefully everybody's as good as their word, but that's
I
let's
think
see.
last year we had about 9 high school kids, 9 or 10.
We had more than that.
More than
I would say we had at least a dozen.
Okay.
And I did not have enough work for them. I really didn't. I
Okay.
mean,
See, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that there were too many. I didn't realize what that
it
was.
sounds, I mean, you hate to, and I'll be honest with you, for the last, I'd say, guessing 5 or 6 years, we've been just absolutely fine with the amount of kids we got. I mean, there's a few
That's
years
true.
there where we weren't getting many kids.
And what about like on the road course itself? Are we hesitant to put the kids there? Would we put adults there instead or?
Yeah, I won't put a kid on Wilson, obviously, but that's about it. But we're doing pretty well there. We have enough adults, and if American Eagle comes, I would use them more on the streets.
Yeah,
But we've been using the kid. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Kevin, it's Lisa. The other possibility is to have some of them come later. Because I think the problem is they all come early. And I was telling my daughter this the other day because we were talking about the volunteering that you have times of the race where you need volunteers, and then there's going to be like lulls.
Low, yeah.
We
yeah.
had a ton of volunteers at the beginning of the race, and once you have everything set up, there's not much to do until the race is over. So maybe we schedule them a little differently too.
That's good.
2 waves, yeah, have the early morning and then have the
Yeah,
afternoon cleanup.
Yeah.
Can I offer something that worked with Waterfall Festival? We have the same kind of ebb and flow of need. And with the kids, the one thing about the kids, you pretty much get every kid who signs up, particularly at the end or the beginning of the school year, because they have a certain amount of hours they have to fulfill for Key Club or Honor Society or things like that. So they're getting their hours in. And particularly in May, if they want to wear their cords in June, for example, if they're seniors, they've got to get those hours in. So they won't shirk their duty, so to speak. So you can pretty much count on the numbers. But what I found helpful when I was looking for help from both Key Club and National Honor Society, I would provide an actual literal sign up with the number of slots I needed filled for that period of time. And that way you could gauge it, like, you know, the beginning of the day when you have setup, and then when it's that lull in the middle of the race, and then have them come when you're anticipating the awards, and when you need people to start running things back and forth, and then the cleanup.
Yeah.
And that way they'll spread it across the day rather than 12 showing up in the morning and then halfway through half of them leave because they've got nothing to do.
I think that's what we just were discussing, having staggered
I apologize.
times.
I wasn't able to make it right at 6:30.
Oh, that's okay.
But
No.
if you give the advisor the list and tell her that's the list, then that's what it is. If you just give it an open thing, then as many as they want, they sign up with their buddies, and then there's too many.
All right. Well, better have this problem though than not enough. I mean, we could easily work with
Right, so,
too many kids.
so I think if we put together a list with a couple of times, right, we split the race in half, the first half and the second half,
Yeah, that's
that
good.
we need folks there. And if a student needs a lot of hours and they want to sign up for both, I don't have a problem with that. And then we just have to find a way to answer American Federal Credit Union.
Well, we can always say that, thank you for the offer, but we're pretty much set with volunteers. We could always do that.
Well, we could give them a number of a couple, because we like to have the people on the streets, like adults on Wilson.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
you know, so we always have a couple. Sometimes the ham guys kind of act almost as additional helpers, and then we have,
Right.
I forgot that organization that can't actually help, but they kind of stand around out there. They aren't
Radio?
authorized to actually stand in the middle of the road and stop traffic.
Is that the American Radio Relay League?
I thought it was a different organization.
Yeah, but then it's, go ahead, Leanne, you know the name.
I'm gonna say it's CERT who handles the traffic, and
Yeah.
radio relay are the communications.
okay.
It was CERT that
Oh,
had
sir.
certain
Okay,
things
that's
they
right,
could and
that's
could
right,
not do.
yeah.
I did
Okay.
send an invitation, or I mean, a request that they put us on their schedule, but I haven't gotten a finalization from them yet.
I think we have
All
some,
right, so could we say that we want 3 volunteers from American Eagle or 5 volunteers?
3.
Okay,
That'd be good.
okay.
and they would probably be on the road?
Yeah, I would have Ron put them on the road.
Okay,
Great.
okay,
And I would say, I'm not sure how about the staggering, because I mean, it's an 8 to 10 day, right? I mean, or 10:30, we're pretty much done with the volunteers at that point, or 11. So they come at 8, we could tell them we only need a couple at 8, and then we need probably, maybe limit it to like 10 kids.
Yeah.
You know, it's it's only 3 hours, right? If they come at 8, they're done at 11.
are they done at 11? Because we don't get out of there until 12 with cleanup.
No. We were done by,
A little
we're done
before
at 11.
12. A little before 12.
I'm home a little after 11, like 11:15.
That's
Okay,
something.
I obviously talked too much.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it may be, I don't think it was that much more work this year that we had it outdoors. I mean, certainly in the old days when we had stuff back into the shed and we used to bring it to the library, that took a lot longer. But now, I mean, it goes fast. That shed's right there. Breaking the tables down takes no time. You know, the whole festival is done by, I don't know, by the time we do the raffle, we're usually done a few minutes before 11. It takes only 10 or 15 minutes to clean up.
Okay,
So I would say, you know, maybe say 10 kids. And then I don't have to worry about, and I know Lisa has the same problem, is that they're coming up to me and it's great. They're nice. They're the nicest kids. They've been great.
Yeah, they are.
they want to help. You know, the first couple of years we had some kids that were kind of like, I thought they're just using us as an excuse to get out of the house, but they've been terrific. They've been really doing everything we asked them to do. But I just don't know if we need so many kids.
Okay,
All
We
right.
might have had a
Hey,
lot
Kit.
this fall because it was really one of the first opportunities for them to get back to being able to volunteer. in the
Hmm.
community.
Yeah, that's a
So-
good
Hey,
point. Liz.
Kevin?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
may have gotten
Hey.
more than our usual share simply because people were trying to fill up with the few opportunities there were to volunteer.
Okay.
okay.
I-
And
I
I
hear
think I
Ron.
hear Ron trying to break in here.
Yeah.
Ron, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'll probably need 4 adult volunteers from American Eagle because I got to block off that traffic on Garfield this year. So I'll probably need a couple at Willard and Garfield and Walsh at Garfield just to do a better job. Okay, so I could use about 4 adult volunteers from American Eagle for that.
Great.
Okay,
Thanks, Ron.
all right.
Okay, we can move on to section 2. Okay, trophies and boost awards. We're gonna have a bunch of people eligible for 10 years this year. I think right now I'm looking at 6. I have to go through every one of them and double check they actually finished the race. Sometimes they sign up and we have them in our registration, but they don't actually show up that day. They don't get credit unless they finish. So, but right now I think we have 6 that if they all showed up last year and finished, they'll be eligible for the 10-year award. I'll get you a definite number, Neil, for the March
Okay.
meeting, okay?
Okay, good. You said you think it might be close to 10 this year?
6.
6,
And,
okay.
yeah, and then we also have, I know I have some weird stuff, like I have a bunch of these envelopes we have the medals in, and we also have medals left over from last year. I know we had a last meeting, we talked about maybe doing something special with the medals, like for 25 years. That's up to you guys, but I didn't know if we could reuse some of the medals or not. I know they're not that expensive, so that's up to you
Yeah,
guys.
they
But
don't have-
I do have a box. I think we had 6 or 7 medals that weren't even handed out because no
I
one
think they're
qualified.
dated, Kevin.
They're
Every
dated.
year.
Yeah.
So in our softball, what they do is they have these clear stickers that go on the back of the medal. So I can take those stickers off and the next year the medals left over, I can resubstitute them with another sticker. It comes off a machine. So I don't know if some point we'll get there. But again, I know we're not spending, we spend like $5 or $4 for a medal, Neil. You know?
Honestly, I'm not sure what it costs for metal.
Hold on, I'll get my file.
Thanks, Leanne.
I'd only be guessing if I gave a price.
Well, I know what I spend for medals for softball stuff. So, and that's usually around $4 or $5 a medal. So, and then we have little trophies or something that are $5 or $6. I mean, they're actually fairly inexpensive. I usually get all my softball stuff now online actually through Crown Trophies, and it's a little bit easier. They just ship them to me and I have them. I don't have to do any work going after them, and it really does cut down some time. I don't know how long it takes you to get your stuff, Neil. Who are you using
It's
anyways for the
very
trophies?
It's
Quick.
quick. It's a quick turnaround. His name
It
is
is,
Paul
okay.
Powers in Berlin. I can't think of the name of what he calls his business, but the
usually,
turnaround.
Kevin,
very
we usually have the medals right as soon as Neil talks to the guy. We have them usually like a good month and a half before the race, if not more than
Perfect.
that. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
no issue as far as time.
Well, Lisa, when I come back in March, I'll bring you back all my envelopes. So I don't have to redo the envelopes.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm looking here, we had, this year we had 36 4-inch track medals,
Yeah.
2 10-year medals and 6 replates. And the track medals were $375 a piece, the 10-year medals were $375 a piece, and the replates were $6.
Beautiful. Yeah. So that's not bad.
Okay.
It's rare. I mean, probably because of COVID, we didn't have also because we ran in May, we didn't get any cross-country kids because they're not allowed to run at the same time. So, so that really cut down on our kids showing up in some of those categories that we normally have, the under, the U14, U18 stuff. We didn't get a lot of the kids in there as much. And I think that's why we had some leftover medals. So that would probably change going back into the into the May and getting away from the October.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just for a time check, it's just past 7:15.
All right.
Quarter of 7, okay. All right, I know Anna's done a whole bunch of stuff on sponsorships and
Yes.
that's been sent out in emails to everybody. Do we need to go over that stuff?
Well,
We
I think
received
everybody's got all the
all-
information Deanna sent out. The only thing,
Yeah.
well, she has this very, excellent
Detailed spreadsheet, yeah.
spreadsheet, that we've got. I think we're trying to, follow along with that. So we're in February now.
Right.
Um,
So the one thing about the task sheet, it's good that we have that, but we also need to remember that Anna is not going to be around those couple
Race
of
day,
days before
yeah.
the race.
Right.
So everything that Anna used to do, we're going to have to find a home for. So I would ask everybody to really go through that task sheet and look at it and see what's happening and what's going on. And Neil, maybe if you can make sure that you have people in place to help with those tasks
Yes.
at those times. Neil and Kevin, stick your hands up and
Mhm.
say, hey,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
didn't used to do this and he didn't used to do this. So now we need somebody to step in here.
I
Will
will do
do.
that. Yes, definitely.
The one sponsor that the one that we did get that's new, besides the drone place, was the Sear Woodworking is a new sponsor that Anna just told me about. So I don't even have them up on the website yet. They'll be going up. But we're
You
going.
know, the Sear, he's actually a friend of mine, and he actually, just as an aside, worked with Maxine
You
on
did. Yep.
All
the,
the millwork.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
He
it's
did-
kind
he
of,
also, he did the cafe too when it opened.
right.
So, all right, never mind. I'm jumping ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so
wasn't sure.
sponsorships, they're coming in
And the payments
very
are
well. We've
Yeah,
got a
I-
lot of people coming back, and then the group of new sponsors, the Aquilin Drones, the Lesser Evil, and Sear Woodworking. So that's all great.
Just a reminder though, to the trustees, and I'll do this at the regular meeting too, is I've already received one trustee sponsorship. The corporate and businesses are coming through and organizational ones are coming through very well. We only have a few outstanding, but we always seem to, the trustees, if you're going to be act as a sponsor, as a trustee, we always seem to go right up to the wire, so.
Okay, do you want me to go to prizes?
Yes.
Okay,
I assume that's in the same category as, in some way, sponsorships. Except I don't, in the past, I know it's been more of a concerted effort between other parties. Like, I think Maureen, you've been very involved in the prizes. I wasn't sure who else. I know Dennis used to be involved. I know he's not here anymore on the board, so I wasn't sure if there's anybody else that's working on besides.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
year and the year before,
You went on.
Maureen, you went on mute.
Oh, she's back.
it was a little different the last couple of years because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then we had all the gift cards that kind of precluded other things, although we got tons and tons of prizes from people, but have to look at that list and see who did what, Anna,
Mm.
as usual, was on roller skates.
Yeah. Okay. All right, the time company, we're all set with there. Obviously, Platt's doing it again. Online registration was put up January 15th, I think. Anna sent me a message. It's going to go to all previous registrants and new and people who've already registered this year, which actually I didn't check the numbers, but I don't think there's more than a couple. So that's all set up and ready to go. Nothing's changed on that. The rates didn't change and the numbers have been ordered.
Great.
So-
are we gonna go more than 200, Kevin, or are you gonna stick at 200 and have Platt give us?
I can that week get more from Platt.
Okay,
So he'll send me 200
Mhm.
and then we'll have a rough idea. We know we get roughly 60 to 100 day of. Now, last year we didn't. because of the way you guys did things on Saturday, and I know you're talking about doing that again. But we have, more pre-registrants, but usually I figure we're gonna have another, 50 or 60 are gonna come day of. So if we have it, we're at, say, 180 on Monday, then, I'm gonna ask him to give me another 70 numbers. And then he always brings some anyways, just in case.
Okay, that sounds good.
I think pretty much Ron is on police. Ron, you're all set with that, right? You said,
What's that?
Ron, you're all set. You've already
What?
contacted the police about being there?
I'm gonna have a meeting with them soon.
Okay. Loudspeaker, I
Morning.
already have that this year, which is nice. Mr. Pizzarella just let me hang on to it. He didn't take it back, so I have that at least for a while. Homeowners notification.
Yep.
Is Dennis still gonna help us again, Ron? I don't know.
I haven't seen him lately. Did he help us
Yeah.
last time?
He did last year, yeah. Or in
We
May.
Okay.
We can find out. Michelle's in touch with Dennis, so I'll find out for you. Okay, Kevin?
Okay, yeah, if not, we'll just either cover more territory or get somebody else to help us out.
Okay.
Core signs, sponsor signs, I mean, we have the signs, they'll be the same ones, the sponsor signs. I mean, I don't think anything's changed on that. Who actually puts that together? You, Ron, with the sign company?
I put it together. Ron
Well,
deals with the company.
Oh, Ron picks it up, okay. Bathrooms and power, we're gonna use the library this year. We're gonna have the race in the parking lot again.
Yep.
So we should be all set there. We just talked about race volunteers and road volunteers. Transportation and mile timers is kind of a who's here and who's gonna do it for us. And ambulance, I think normally Karen handles ambulance, right?
Yep, I'm just waiting for a confirmation from them. I did
Okay.
reach out.
Same with
And
CERT.
CERT is involved again this year, correct?
I
We're
put
waiting.
out the same thing. We're waiting for a confirmation.
Okay. All right, T-shirts, are we doing anything different this year because of the 25 years?
Well, I did ask for pricing on a dry fit shirt in a color other than white, and there are
Yes.
loads of colors available, and it's 50 cents more a shirt. Is that I can put it before the board if we wanted to really look different.
I think
this
that would
year.
be a great idea.
Yeah,
I would love to see a different color.
definitely.
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah. I mean, you're talking $150, you have 300, well, 250 shirts, you usually get an extra 50 for the volunteers. So you get 300 shirts, you're talking $150, so.
Right, right. And I think our sponsor level is very strong this year for the 25th
Good.
year. I think we can do that with the 25th, emblem on it, like we did the 80th anniversary, for the library itself. So I will put that to the board for a vote this evening, but
Okay.
I'm not hearing a lot of dissent on this call. So I think that would make it a nice change. It would stand out from all the other years.
Definitely. Teal is always nice. The color.
Or maybe a bright color, a
Yellow,
bright
anything, yeah. I mean,
blue or whatever. I don't really want them all to look like construction workers, but
no,
or maybe we'll do a teal with a bright ink color or something.
Sure.
So we'll figure it out.
we have plenty of options.
All right, public relations, I've got to get us, I just triggered something for me. I've got to get us onto all the databases. We just got done doing the other ones. So I'm gonna get us on, we usually on about 6 online databases or websites. So I have not done that yet. And I
did
will
you
do
see
that.
the letters and things that Anna had kind of scripted to go up?
Yeah, she sent me the one that she said to send in the 15th. So I'll get
Okay.
it out tomorrow. And then she gives me one a month usually. So.
Great. Okay, great. Thank you.
But for new people to find us, they're gonna go to, usually High Tech Racing is the biggest one in Connecticut. But they're gonna go to one of those websites, and then if they're just looking for a race to run that weekend. And we have that community, don't forget, of 165 races, 165 towns. They try to race in every town. So
Mhm.
we get, I would say, half a dozen to a dozen people a year who are logging our race as another way of getting their town done. So.
Super.
And up until recently, I mean, I know we had that race in the fall for the mayor, and that that only went on for, I think, 2 years. So we're really the only race, although I think I saw something recently
Right,
where
yeah. The Mezzacali
another race
race.
in the fall or something. I
That
I
was
thought I
from
saw something.
Dominic
about it.
Mezzacali race, yeah.
Right, but that, yeah, that Mezzacoli, yeah, that stopped though. That
Right, yeah, for a couple of years.
they went it for a couple of years and then, it just was a lot of work as I find out. I mean, we have a huge committee, they were doing it for 3 people. That's tremendous amount of work for 3 people. So I'll get those out. I didn't even think about it. I'll get those sent up.
Some of the other things that I talked to Anna about, this is Lisa, that is to make notification to some of the organizations in town, just to make them aware of the overall, the race itself, and just getting more people to even come as a town-wide event. And then I know we talked about this last time, but I did reach out to the high school band and orchestra directors to see if they would be interested or willing to have some part in the at least the after the post race kind of celebration. So just know that that's also underway.
Super.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Sponsor sign, race sign, banner. I assume you guys are all.
Leanne, you had your hand up?
I apologize. I was a few minutes late to the meeting. Did we address Anna's question about potentially doing something for the Giantonios and Keeney families?
No, we didn't address that.
Because of their long-term involvement over the years. Neither are involved at 25, but both were instrumental in earlier incarnations of the race.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Keeney, what did she have, the number of years?
Oh, it's sponsor recognition for sponsors who have donated 5+ years. We'd also like to suggest we invite a family member of the Giantonio family and the Keeney family to attend. Well, you're still affiliated with the race. We had a long-standing relationship with both of them. The former owner of Keeney now lives in Farmington near Miss Porter's school. Yeah. Giantonio.
I just want to throw it out there. I don't want it to get forgotten. And then if we do decide to do something, they feel like a last minute thing.
Yeah. So I think it's certainly worth on the 25th anniversary to do a recognition of, who helped us get here. And we can reach out and invite them. And, Kevin, maybe at the end we'll, bring up the names and go through and say, so how do you run a race for 25 years? It's through support of the community. And here's some people that we've counted on year after year, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And
Giantonos are
I'm sorry,
huge
I have
supporters.
a sketchy print off, but either she didn't label it or I don't know. The 9/5/23, are those the number of years that they contributed?
It is, yeah, the number of years.
Okay.
And basically, I believe, if I recall, Giantonio's ended and Keeney picked up the baton.
Yeah, 17.
Well, but they overlap because Keeney supposedly has donated for 23 years, but they weren't the front.
They weren't the largest.
They weren't the front of the shirt donator until after Giantonio withdrew from that.
Okay.
Is Guido Giantonio still alive?
Yes,
He is. Oh, good.
he lives in Rocky Hill.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Okay, so I think we should do some kind of recognition, and I don't know if it will end up being a letter of thanks from us and public recognition with a certificate or something. I don't know.
Did you still want to send out race forms to the past the people that didn't register online? Did you still want to do that?
I think so. I gave those forms to Anna and she was creating a database of the emails. Now, not everybody fills their emails went out when they come in and sign up day of race, but a lot of them do. And so I thought we we're going to try to reach them through an email contact as opposed to spending the money to do the mail outs, but that's up to you guys.
Okay.
It's a lot of work for you.
Another possibility is we're going to be doing the mailing for the Friends in at the end of April. Maybe we just put a race form in each footnotes.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, that's,
Really good idea.
Now,
don't
does
know.
that work? Do we have things in there for legacy and stuff like, I'm just trying to think of,
Well,
I
this
think it's
is
a
your
great
big,
idea.
this is your big, no, you don't have anything for legacy, and it's also your biggest fundraising event. So I would bump the legacy honestly and put this in, so it's an actual event that's coming up. But I'm pretty sure you don't have an insert for the mailing.
Okay, I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
Thank you.
yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people that sign up the day of the race aren't gonna find out about us anyways. It's through either one of the
No,
websites
but there might be a
online.
lot of people and friends that will do the walk.
Yeah,
You know, I
that's
think the
true.
runners that are looking for races will do that, but I think maybe a lot of friends would say, you know what, let's do the walk.
Okay. Well, again, that's you guys, it's your money and your time. So whatever you guys as a board decide to do, I don't care.
Can I ask a quick question about sign up? Are people able to sign up through the library as well?
Yes.
Yes.
There,
They
okay.
can-
I
yeah,
figured
they-
that, but I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, they can come in. We have the forms out in the library, and they can just actually give us the registration form right then, and we'll
Okay.
take it from them. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the really good news is more and more people every year are signing up online, which makes honestly my job a lot easier, because otherwise I have to input all the information into a spreadsheet and into the race registration form myself. So the more I do it online, the easier it is for me. Number one. Number two is I can't read everybody's handwriting. And, so sometimes it might be Denise and I got Dennis, I just can't always follow. They don't always check off whether they're male or female, or their ages are always left blank. When they do it online, they don't have a choice. They have to fill all those categories out. So it's just better information the more we get on there.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just
Okay,
gonna reach out to Elizabeth, our secretary for the regular meeting, and let her know we're running late, but we are still having our meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're on other business. So is there anything else that we need to talk about?
I just wanted to make sure, I went over Anna's list. And I'm not exactly sure when she says race director, she means she's still taking care of it?
What do you,
Well, the reason
No, I
I'm
don't-
questioning is
So here's something, and here's a good point. So we seem to have three people in charge, like the three-legged stool, right? So Anna does a lot. Kevin, of course, is in charge, and Neil is the race committee chair. So I think ideally, between the three of you, we kind of figure out what those titles mean and what happens, because this all came from Anna. So I don't know if there's one title that, you look at that title and that's all the stuff that Neil always does. So he's comfortable with that, and all the stuff that Kevin always does, or if she's just calling it a race director and the three of you do any one of those things that are on there.
I guess I'm looking for some clarification from a money standpoint, because particularly the stuff that comes through the library, the stuff that's hand done comes in, that's fine. That walks through Carolyn, then it walks to Anna and Kevin and then myself. So that's fine. I have the tracking. The stuff that's in the database, when I get it, she downloads I get a check. That's what I get. I get a dollar amount, and that's what I get to deposit. The breakdowns are all in that data information that you guys, I don't go into that typically, that spreadsheet, but I do need it because I have to enter it into our computer system, the names of who entered in their receipts and whether they're sponsors or, donators, or whether they're actual participants, registrants. So if she's not around to do that, I'm just wondering who will, or if I have to learn the task.
Well, anything from the database I can give you.
Okay, all right. Well, that answers the question then.
Yeah.
But
I think-
again, I was looking at it from my perspective. I'm wondering
Yeah.
how much on that list is that same way, where impacts, people should really make sure they look at that list to make sure that we can address this ahead of time.
That's what
Right.
the list is for. I mean, this is new, this list. So, yeah.
Right, so let's go through and scrub that. Can we have a commitment that we'll know what that is?
You got Jesse on yet?
I'm sorry, Ron?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. So is it enough for us to know what's going on by March?
Yeah, I
And
can certainly
have
look
a
at the
real
list.
name next, and have a name next to those tasks? Are people ready to volunteer for those tasks?
That makes sense. We
Okay.
don't want something dropping through. So I'll go through and I'm pretty familiar. Most of the stuff I've never really done too much, especially since once I left the board, has anything to do with the prizes or the sponsorships. That's been pretty much internal. I've been more on the, I don't know what you want to call the functional side of it, you know, for the
Right,
race.
right.
So, but yeah, I'll take a look at the list and I'll try to get through that soon so I can send out and say this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that, but I'm not.
And Neil,
don't
I
really
would
know.
ask that you do the same thing, and then we identify holes, or we identify things that Anna has traditionally done. That's, you know, that week, that whatever that we need somebody else to do this year.
Yes, I will do that.
Thank you.
I really think the two biggest things that Anna does that somebody's got to fill the shoes is, number one, she's usually either she's doing it or she's making arrangements to have someone pick up the food. That we're getting from Veggie World or from Dunkin' Donuts. And then also she seems to be one that puts the prize together. And I think a lot of times I know Lisa and Karen have a whole bunch of prizes are in their office when I go in there to see them. So I'm not sure how they get there. I just know that they get there. So I'm not sure if it's Anna delivers them or if they come in through the sponsor or through the person who's donating.
Probably all of the above, but
Yeah,
that's good.
probably.
Yeah, sounds right.
Okay.
And when's the next meeting?
The 14th of March.
Okay.
I think we should
The
start,
nicest thing about February, it makes all these monthly meetings easy.
I think we should start at 6:15
Yes.
because we keep running over.
Good
That's a good
point.
idea.
That's okay with you? Okay.
6:15. Yep.
Okay. Steve, thank you for joining. Did you have any questions or comments at this point?
Oh, no, no, not at this time. Thank you for inviting me. My colleague and club president, George, should be also involved. I'll keep him posted as to what our discussions are. And we may come up with a plan, a communications plan for our group, and we can share that with the team as we go along here. So thank you very much. I've enjoyed being among the group tonight.
The chatter. Thank you very much. Appreciate your presence.
Okay, great.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. See you guys next month.
Okay, so we're adjourning this meeting and picking up the other Zoom link for our normal board meeting. Thanks,
Right.
everyone.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you.
Get that open for you.
Bye-bye.
Click here.
Yeah.